Spotlight.
This is Akashvani. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you a discussion on E-Trucks Initiative, India's drive to clean and sustainable freight mobility. The participants are Ronendra Singh, automobile expert, and Ashwini Srivastav, journalist.
The Ministry of Heavy Industry had on September 2024 launched PM Electric Drive Revolution in Innovative Vehicle Enhancement or PM E-Drive scheme. The scheme is being implemented from October 1st, 2024 till March 31st, 2026. The Heavy Industries Ministry had also notified Electric Mobility Promotion Scheme 2024, which is also known as EMPS, with an outlay of nearly rupees 770 crore for a period of 6 months with effect from April 1st, 2024 till September 30th, 2024. The EMPS is being subsumed under PM E-Drive scheme. Therefore, effective period for the scheme will be of 2 years. On Friday, Union Heavy Industries Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy launched a groundbreaking scheme to provide financial incentives for electric trucks under the PM E-Drive scheme. This marks the first time the Government of India is extending direct support for electric trucks, aiming to accelerate the country's transition to clean, efficient and sustainable freight mobility. Before we discuss further, let's listen to a report by Akashvani correspondent Aman Yadav.
This is the first time that the government has launched support for electric trucks to help the country's transition to clean and sustainable freight mobility. The scheme aims to support the deployment of around 5,600 electric trucks, promoting indigenous manufacturing and reducing logistic cost and carbon footprint. In the scheme, a dedication provision has been made to reserve incentive for approximately 1,100 electric trucks registered in Delhi. To avail this incentive, scrapping of old truck is mandatory. To ensure the reliability of electric trucks, the manufacturers will provide a comprehensive manufacturer-backed warranty. This will include a 5-year or 5 lakh kilometer warranty for the battery. To promote affordability, this incentive will be provided as an upfront reduction in the purchase price and reimbursed to original equipment manufacturer through the PM E-Drive portal on a first-come, first-served basis. The potential beneficiaries of the scheme include e-truck users in cement, port, steel and logistics sectors. Manufacturers and users of e-truck have welcomed the scheme, which will reduce cost of logistics and carbon footprint in the country. Steel Authority of India Limited has committed to procure 150 e-trucks over the next 2 years for deployment across various locations. It has also set a target to mandate that at least 15% of the total vehicle hired across all units be electric vehicles. By extending incentive to e-trucks, the government aims to reduce operational costs for transporters, encourage clean energy transition in the heavy vehicle segment, and improve urban and regional air quality. The scheme is a strategic move to support India's commitment to reducing vehicular emissions and achieving its net zero 2070 goals.
Ronen, please tell us more about this scheme as to what exactly it is and who are its intended beneficiaries.
This is part of the scheme, the PM E-Drive, which was basically launched for all vehicles except the private passenger vehicles, and it was the scheme's outlay was 10,900 crore, and out of which rupees 500 crore has been kept for the incentives for the electric trucks or e-trucks. And the government will be incentivizing around 5,600 e-trucks under this scheme in the next 2 years. And this will directly go to the customers who are buying these trucks with maximum cap of rupees 9.6 lakh per truck, because this is electric truck and which costs more than crore almost with the body and everything. So they'll be incentivizing with per truck of rupees 9.6 lakh. But there is also a catch that, a customer who is going to buy this truck, they have to mandatorily show scrappage certificate to the dealers to avail this incentive. And if they don't have, like you or me as a first time e-truck buyer don't have this scrappage certificate, you have to purchase this from the, authorized government, which is authorized by the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, authorized facility to that certificate on your name. And in return, when you purchase the e-truck, then only you'll get this incentive. So that catch is also there. Today, the Union Minister of Heavy Industries, H.D. Kumaraswamy ji, has held a press conference at his residence where he also announced that there will be a separate rupees 100 crore has been allotted especially for Delhi government, and around 1100 trucks will be incentivized under this scheme.
You talked about scrappage certificate. If you could elaborate more on it as to what exactly it is and how can people get it?
Scrappage centers, right now, there are around 101 scrappage centers across India where you can go and scrap all your old vehicles which are more than 15 years old. In return, you scrap a certificate, it is called, or it is called Certificate of Deposit, CD. So once you scrap the vehicle, you will get a certificate in return saying that so and so has scrapped his old vehicle, and with this certificate he can purchase a new vehicle in return of some incentives avail the government scheme under this.
So what are the potential benefit of using e-trucks, especially in logistic and freight transportation? But first, why e-trucks? Why do we need e-trucks?
Everyone knows that, trucks are the most polluting vehicles in the country or across the world because most of them are run by diesel. They are diesel powered engines and they are huge engines and, upwards of 12 tons, 14 tons. So they pollute a lot to the environment. Actually, a very small step to start with because there are more than 11 lakh old trucks which are already running on the road and they are nearing end of life, which are like more than 15 years old trucks. But nobody is talking about that and nobody is kind of scrapping them because we don't have much incentive scheme, because even if you scrap a old truck, you won't get something in return from the dealers because companies don't want to do away with their margins with the dealers, and even discount of 1 or 2% is very tough to get when you buy a new truck. So that's why government has launched this scheme so that at least this 5,600 trucks can be incentivized and do some good for the environment so that CO2 levels also come down and we go towards the meeting the target of 2070 of net zero environment.
The number that you mentioned, 5,600, that's quite huge. You also talked about an outlay of nearly 100 crore exclusively for Delhi. Do you feel that implementation of e-trucks and this outlay will also help in reducing air pollution in Delhi, which people, those who are living in Delhi and NCR have to face almost all year, especially during winter time, owing to different reasons? Will it help in improving air quality?
Yes, of course, because although this won't start that soon and Delhi government has already announced some new policy from November 1 onwards which are actually on hold right now, but still we have like so many electric vehicles running on the roads, and apart from CNG commercial vehicles, a lot of people have started buying electric vehicles now, and two-wheelers are also, majority of the two-wheelers are also now running on electric, and small trucks like small logistics trucks are also like for e-commerce deliveries, like last mile deliveries, they are also on electric right now. So that way this will also help, although very less number, but if it's like there's always start to begin with, so if it continues like this, then maybe after 2 years the center might launch new scheme, or the Delhi government also might launch a new scheme which will help the environment to free from some pollution.
Okay, but Ranansi, you have been covering automobile and auto sector for quite long. You are very experienced in this. Do you feel that this scheme will encourage private sector to go for e-trucks and reduce their dependability on those run by diesel? As you said that diesel is one of the very polluting fuel. It contributes a lot to CO2 emission. So will it be a sufficient encouragement for private sector to go for e-trucks?
Yes, of course. In fact, some of them have already started. The e-commerce companies, I don't want to name, but there are a few companies who have already started, rolling out their delivery vans as electric. And also, even if you know the Ghazipur wasteland, there also some companies have started plying the electric small trucks to recycle the e-waste and, the waste there. So it has already begun, and many companies are tying up with the state governments, or they are part of the tenders of the state governments to ply such vehicles in certain areas.
Do you also feel that this scheme will reduce operational costs for transporters? Let's say those who are in logistics, if they are using e-trucks, will it help them?
Right now, it is difficult to say that because right now what's happening is that because of the limited range and we not having the fast chargers on the highways, we still have some time to go for long haul trucks in under the e-trucks category. Maybe, for example, Delhi Jaipur we can do because of the new Mumbai Expressway, and mostly such kind of trucks, the N2 and N3 categories of these trucks will give at least 500 kilometers range per charge. So this will help at least in the short route hauls to start to begin with. So this will help the neighboring states and this kind of fleets.
Okay, what are some other challenges associated with adoption of e-trucks? As you mentioned one recently, you mentioned one. What are some other challenges that you foresee that might deter people to go for e-trucks? Especially those who are in logistics.
Yeah, that is why the government has come out with this incentives, because trucking business is quite big business and also there are a lot of issues around it. And the first and foremost part is that the body building of a truck, the shell of a truck is, when you go and buy it, you'll get the only shell of the truck. Like if you buy the ICE engine trucks also, you'll get the only body of the shell of the vehicle and with the driver's seat. But all the other things, the body, the chassis, I mean, you all have to build that in a bodybuilding factory. So that also costs a lot. So, and apart from that, e-trucks, it will come with, all these batteries to be put near the chassis, or I don't know how they will place like, but of course the batteries are expensive. So you have to be very careful about the road, the ground clearance of the trucks and the weight of the truck, and also the tires of the truck. Because since these batteries are quite heavy, so the quality of the tires also should be very much with that to go with that weight of the truck.
You see that whenever we talk about e-vehicle, one of the key challenges that most people foresee is about availability of charging points. As you also talked about, that charging points may not be that sufficient. Do you feel there is a need to increase the charging points across the country, especially in the rural areas? See, these trucks which would be plying, they may not be plying only on the national highways. They might be going to far places also.
Right.
So do you feel that there is a need to increase or have more charging stations that to at an affordable cost so that these vehicles can charge themselves?
Yes. So apart from the highways, I mean, of course, there are some truck laybys or truck stations on near the highways also where, a lot of logistics or ground level work happen there. So I think the government is already working with some of the companies, oil companies like Indian Oil, or they are all launching the charging points on the highways as well as on these certain areas where you require, like in bus depots, like DTC bus depots has now charging points where you can charge at least 100 or 120 or 150, more than that also in one go. All these are fast chargers. So within like 1 hour, you will be like 80% charged up. The trucks will be 80% charged up. So that way, the government is also working on that along with all these oil companies and other companies which are into all this charging infrastructure.
And as of now, do we have sufficient infrastructure in terms of supporting this mega transition?
I will not say that we have sufficient. I mean, it is just starting. And if you go on the highways, you will see some of the charging points there also now getting into the picture. So I think it will take some time. By the time these companies launch their trucks and all, I think we will have sufficient charging infrastructure on the highways as well as on the city roads.
Right. And whenever we talk about electric vehicles or battery, one term that we often hear is about rare earth magnets. You see, China has restricted its export, I would say, to most of the countries. So do you feel that the unavailability or the restricted availability of rare earth magnets will have some sort of impacts on this ambitious scheme which was launched today by the government of India?
Right now, not only the automotive industry, but other related industries like the electronic sector are also facing some kind of challenges. But what the center is making sure is that with the industry bodies also, like SIAM also, like the government is building something on that. And also there are policies which are coming out where Indians can also manufacture and process the magnets. So it will take 1 or 2 years time. But in that while, we are also looking at importing these magnets from other countries like Australia or other countries wherever they are available right now.
But a rare earth magnet is very important. It is needed for this battery. What is its utility, if you can? Yeah.
Utility is like it comes in everything, even if in a small form, like the earphones or earbuds that we have for mobile phones, Bluetooth earbuds, you'll require a magnet for that, and speakers for that matter. But in vehicles, like for motors and from turning up from mechanical to electric, all these electric vehicles are also required. Majority of magnets are required in that category. So that's why it is said that, the automotive industry is the most suffering sector right now for the rare earth magnets.
Right. You explained to us in detail about the e-truck scheme which was launched today and about the various challenges and benefits related to use of e-vehicles. Thank you so much for talking to us, Ronen.
Thank you, Ashwini. Thank you.
You are listening to a discussion on e-trucks initiative, India's drive to clean and sustainable freight mobility. The participants were Ronendra Singh, automobile expert, and Ashwini Srivastav, journalist. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. You may share your feedback about this program through email at airnsttalks@gmail.com or WhatsApp on 9289094044.
Spotlight.